Each year we pause to celebrate United Church Canonical Men's Fellowship Summit. This year, we do so under the theme Men on a Mission, Christ to Christ. Crisis may be defined as a situation that is extremely dangerous or when there are many problems. As we examine the state of our world today, we are forced to conclude that it is in crisis. There are indeed many problems. Currently, there's a war between Russia and Ukraine that has caused an energy crisis, a food security crisis, and an international transportation crisis, just to name a few. There is an environmental crisis caused by climate change. The COVID-19 pandemic appears to be receding, but we are now faced with monkeypox, one crisis after another. Jamaica is affected by all these and more. We are beset by crime and violence, corruption, and a general breakdown in values. Our younger generation is distracted by different value systems. Scamming and general easy way out in making a living seems now to be the order of the day. We look to persons who may be regarded as less than desirable, but who have become role models. And social media has become a negative influence, especially on our young people. Education is under siege, and there's generally discipline in schools. Indeed, there's crisis all around us. But we need not despair. With every crisis comes opportunity. Recall in Mark chapter 6, verse 34 to 44. The disciples informed Jesus that they were in a crisis and that he should send the crowd away to find food. Since he heard about the resources that were available, and he used the available 5 loaves and 2 fishes to feed the crowd. Although the disciples were with him daily, they did not understand that he was bigger than the crisis. This was also manifested to them when the 5 loaves and 2 fishes fed over 500 men, not counting women and children. They eventually had 12 baskets of excess food. Christ has given us the resources that can transform our society. Like the disciples, we are not recognizing the power he has endowed on us. We need to utilize our God-given resources of talent, time, and money to transform our society. We as men need to use our influence by becoming Sunday school teachers, mentors for the young boys and girls in our community, assisting with the homework programs, identify the young boys in our communities and involving them in the boys' brigade of which we ought to be leaders, getting involved in our community projects, feeding the hungry, caring for the fatherless, the aged, and the disabled. Christ said that whatever we do for the least of these brothers and sisters, we do it for him. We can use our resources to move people from today's crisis to Christ. My challenge is that we begin to identify the resources with which God has blessed us and invite our other brothers, young and not so young, to join with us as we begin this mission of moving our people from crisis that seem to pervade us. I am confident that the results we achieve will assist in advancing the kingdom of God. And wish God's blessing on you as you celebrate this men's fellowship Sunday. And may you urgently seek to join the mission of moving people from crisis to Christ. And there's truly acting President General United Church and Fellowship.
Brother Miller did not call the name at the end. He just said the acting. He said yours truly. Okay. So that was Brother Miller's message, because he is in fact the head of the men's fellowship in Jamaica and the Cayman Islands at this time. Acting. Wonderful. Right here from Little Boulevard. Yes, sir. Okay, as for our own fellowship here at Boulevard, there was a cricket commentator who never had much to commentate on because rain fell, and all he said was rain, no play. Although there was rain in the form of pandemic, we did not roll over, we did not give up. We still played, but of course under very limited circumstances, our men's fellowship. I bring you apology for Brother Edmund Reed, one of the stalwarts of our men's fellowship, but circumstances and emergency caused him to not to be here today, and we pray for him and family where they are at this time. But during the pandemic, the men's fellowship, we kept in touch, the members, we kept in touch in any way we could, by telephone, etc., when we could not see each other or were not allowed to visit. Remember, most of the men of our fellowship, the older ones, have reached a point where we had to be careful how we met. They're in that vulnerable age group. But we still met at that time, and we even met by Zoom. Yes, we had our meeting by Zoom. Since then, we have started meeting physically. Last month, the month of August, on the 3rd Sunday, we visited the Brother Smith, Brother Everett Smith and Brother and Sister Ruth Smith. Very wonderful visit. They really appreciated it, and we had a good meeting and good fellowship with them. And that's the form of how most of our meetings will be taken, because I find that men tend to like to go out and do something rather than come in here and read minutes and go through agenda and that sort of thing. So there has to be some of that, but we are going to mix the way that it is done. And we have already checked with Brother Green and Sister Green in Portmore, and we will be visiting with them this month. In other words, we are trying to visit with the men who can no longer come to church, so that we can do some meaningful visits with them. A highlight of what the Men's Fellowship has done is a revival of the Boys Brigade. We have started the Boys Brigade going again. Yes. And it's a pleasure to see on a Saturday that the Girls Brigade and the Boys Brigade are once again on the move.